Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another video on the Audi RS3, the 8V model in particular. Ours is an 8V2, which is a DNW A engine car, which means it has the GPF and OPF filters, but rest assured it has a modified RS Sports exhaust, which means it does sound actually quite nice. It still has the GPF OPF filters, but it does really genuinely sound really nice. But anyway, into the video, you'll see from the title, it's a bit of a mishmash of loads of videos almost into one. And the reason why I've done that is because some of my other videos maybe have been a little bit boring to most people that are non-Audi RS3 owners that are kind of stumbled across the channel that way, or current subscribers. Yeah, basically it may be a little bit boring for you. So I wanted to spruce it up a little bit as such, and I've included the whole drive video since we've done the handling mod. So effectively, if you don't know, I'll ping up some videos on the top right hand corner for you now. You can watch some of those videos, but we have been trying to make this car effectively into a more of a track beast. Anyone that will know me, that have followed the channel for a long time, will know that I race cars. I actually have a race license. I've won championships. I've done a few things like that. So I like cars to handle really well. And the RS3 for me was a bit of an unconventional one because all round it's a really quick car. It can go from point A to point B, and it actually can do track work decently well. And actually, because of how good the grip is and the Quattro system is and the power it has, it actually does similar times to an FK8 out of the box, which is pretty much the best hot hatch out there. It doesn't mean that the chassis is as good as an FK8, because it just isn't. It rolls a lot more. It does things not as good in certain respects as an FK8 does. Don't run away, Audi owners. It's me being honest, this is my car, but you can do some things to make this even better, and realistically this makes up a lot in the grip, the low down grip, once it kind of stops having the slight understeer issues it can have. This being an 8V2, because it's an all aluminium block, so head and block, bottom end, it's alloy block, so actually it's quite lightweight from the front end. So they've sorted out the kind of understeer issues. They've also they've got a staggered profile, which I have kept to, that makes it rotate a bit more. But I've added a rear anti-roll bar from Whiteline, big old thick stiff anti-roll bar. I've put it on the stiffest setting. I've also got the Powerflex dogbone mount, which apparently really makes some difference. And I have changed the terrible Pirelli P0 tyres that come out of the factory. They are awful. These are now, the car is now shroud on a set of Continental Sports Contact 7s all round. For me, they're the best street tyre, full stop. You can argue with me in the comment section, but they are unreal. As a real street tyre, if you want something even more aggressive, AR1s, you know, things like that, semi-slicks almost. But they're, for me, a really good all-round package in a street car, on a street car. But yeah, other than that, we've done braided brake lines, we've done PBS Pro Race pads as well. And I want to talk to you fundamentally how the changes have made the car feel. So I'll talk you through that. But I'm also going to do, and you'll see from the title, there's also going to be a 0 to 60 in the mix, because I haven't done one really on this car, so I'm going to launch it. And 100 to 200 to test the Eventuri intake system as well, see if that marries up well. And it seems as though, to me, it seems like it's quicker, but I want to see some real world results from it. And I'd like to see what this car will cut without a map and the intercooler, because it is the way we're going to go with this car, almost certainly. 500 horsepower-ish, 520 some people can get. And with that system, that Eventuri system and carbon intake, I think 100% we'll be able to get that kind of area. And I think the car will be an absolute weapon, because as quick as it is, but it definitely needs an intercooler map coming up in the near future. We are also going to be doing a track day very soon. In fact, I think we've got two booked up, one at Snetterton, one at Liddon Hill, which I've never driven actually before in my life. Considering I race and stuff, I've never raced there, I've never track dayed there, so looking forward to that. And it's all coming up quite soon. But let's get into the video. Let's go and do some tests and tell you about how the changes have made the car feel as well. Let's get into the way the car feels on the new modifications before we do these stats. So first and foremost, I'm going to go straight into the brakes. They were last done. Braided brake lines should give pedal feel. That being said, I wouldn't say the Audi RS3 has had any issues with that kind of pedal feel. Obviously, I will test the car out on track, and that will be a whole different kettle of fish as such. So yeah, I'll get you that data from track obviously, but rest assured, I've bedded these brakes in for about a week. on a set of standard discs that obviously are relatively old, and they feel absolutely incredible. I'm not going to hard brake on them because I think they still probably need a bit of braking in, but they feel absolutely amazing. You probably see it's putting on the warnings because the braking is that good. But to be fair, the stock brake system feels amazing out of the factory. Everyone will say that, up until the point of when you really test them, they feel, you know, like after one lap of hard, you know, racing, so to speak, you get fade. But with these, they feel like they're not going to get that. I have tested them on the road at, you know, really meaty speeds, I say, in safe conditions, in the right roads, and they don't seem to fade ever. So at the moment, my verdict on the Pro Race is amazing. But maybe if you want to definitively decide whether you want to go for a set of those, because the price is great, you might want to maybe wait for my track videos. But I think they feel amazing for the money. They're great. They're almost certainly going to be way better than OEM, so I'm looking forward to kind of testing it a lot more. So pads and braided brake lines are a must and very well worth doing and amazing. But yes, let's go on to the handling modifications and how they feel. The rear anti-roll bar, I've driven this car a lot since I've had the rear anti-roll bar. So the anti-roll bar's been on for about 3-4 weeks, and there is absolutely no doubt that turning and general handling is considerably better. You get a lot more rotation from the front and rear, and it will rotate, getting rid of that kind of understeering feel. And yeah, this is on the most aggressive setting, so the most stiff setting. The only thing I would say is I find that when my tyres are cold, the car will feel like it's floating around a bit in a straight line, which is a little bit unnerving. And if you don't like that on the road, I would probably say maybe go on the softer setting, which I haven't tried, but it's likely to be considerably softer. And I think for that reason, I think it would probably be the way to go if you don't have confidence in your, like, super confidence in the your driving and the feel of safety behind the steering wheel, I suppose. But on a good day, with the tyre pressures where they need to be, I find these Conti Sports Contact 7s need a bit more pressure than normal. So if you're used to kind of 30 on a P0, I'd do 32 on these, and they feel a lot nicer with a little tiny bit more pressure in them. Otherwise, I find that they need heat before they feel really good, and you don't get that weird wavering sensation of feel where it's almost, you know, tramlining and following the road too much on that stiff anti-roll bar setting. But honestly, it between that and the dogbone mount, which you get a little bit of frequency resonance through the gearbox initially, mine is the yellow type, which is the most mild out of the polybush type that you can get. I think you can get yellow, and then you've got in between, which is purple, and then black, which is severe. But apparently the purple and the black are both actually and apparently horrendous. So the yellow, you get a bit of resonance just as it's bedding in, and literally within, I think, 2-3 days of driving the car a fair bit, the resonance and horrible vibrations completely go away. So yeah, I honestly think it's absolutely amazing. And between these modifications, it transforms the car to a much better handling car. The last thing I probably think, even though the mag ride, which this has got optional extra, which is obviously better than a standard suspension, definitely, especially when you put it in dynamic, you know, true dynamic sport, it really is lovely and controlled and responsive. These tyres have great feedback as well, so you get a bit more feedback definitely from the front end and through communication from your fingertips. But I would definitely say that the car is hugely transformed, and all of these modifications are a must if you want to do a bit more aggressive track work or fast road without the introduction of, you know, understeer. This, in my opinion, the 8V2 doesn't understeer that much until you ridiculously push it on. But it transforms the car for me. It goes from, in my opinion, round B roads being a relatively decent car to a really fun, amazing chassis, which I adore now, and it gives me a lot more pleasure and a lot more fun and makes me smile a lot more now with these modifications. And these kind of like country roads are just amazing. And I had to brake really quick because there was a pigeon that just basically flew out in front of me, so thank goodness for the PBS pads. But yeah, if you've got any questions about any of the modifications, because obviously I'm not going to cover everything, it's probably worth you hitting me up in the comment section as to any specific questions you want answered, and I'll be sure to answer. But yeah, let's get on to the performance data and yeah, see what we can hit. Right, let's go. Foot hard on brake, hard on accelerator, activate launch control. Let's go. Right, first go, let's have a look. Now, there's obviously lots of different ways you can do this, and I'm going to try just doing it. I've tried in sports auto, which does sports, dynamic, normal. But I'm going to try just sports manual. I think that's meant to be the quickest. Like I say, I've done a 4.0. I'd love to get in the 3s, to be honest with you. Let's have a little look. Let's see what we can do. All right, let's have another go. So foot flat, and we're in manual this time. 4.2. We are struggling. Let's have one more go, guys. Mind you, that was uphill. Let's have another go. That felt better. Let's have a little look. So yeah, the book time for an Audi RS3 8V2 saloon is actually 8.3 seconds. So yeah, let's see if we can do a bit better than that, and yeah, see what we can get. I'm confident we should be able to get just about in the 3s. I think it sounds like some people are saying these are capable of 3.9s. I know this has got an intake, but it's not going to make much difference on the 60, I don't think. Right, here we go. Let's go. Let's get straightened up and let's give it a go. I felt good, but I wish I could have revved out in first. I think I'm going to give it a go manual, but let's have a little look and see what that was. Not hard. It is hard unless you've got a really good surface to get under 4 seconds. I've just done a 4.1. I've done a couple of 4.0s, and I'm struggling to get it under in the 3s, which, you know, is still amazing. But let's give it another go. Another 4.0. Jeez, I'm not going to be able to do this, am I? Oh, I need a better road, realistically. Anyway, 4.0. Nah, I'm not happy with that. I want a 3. Let's go again. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah. Excuse my maniacal laugh, I do apologise. Yeah, a 3.83 fully verified and legal run. Yeah, so yeah, 0 to 60 in 3.83. So yeah, getting these things in the 3 second range is very, very easy. Like I say, stock map, intake obviously probably helps, the Eventuri intake. Although I don't think it'd make a huge amount of difference, but good amount of difference. But yeah, I forgot to actually even say as well, just to let you know, this car is crazy laden with unnecessary weight in here. All of my camera equipment, a laptop, because I'm doing data log on my Supra at the moment, loads of drinks. I know it sounds random, but literally nothing has been stripped out. I've got loads of stuff in the boot. So this is probably sitting at easy 50 kg right now as we speak. So the performance statistics considering are incredible. So yeah, yeah, mind-blowing for, you know, a car like this, just unreal. Right, so we have done honestly, it's so much easier to get quick times now. So my quickest previous 100 to 200 time was 10.55, which for a stock DNWA car is damn quick. But yeah, this has just done a 10.33 second attempt, so easy. So yeah, I'm going to try some more. So that is the end of our video and the end of our vlog, and yeah, I just want to kind of summarize but explain how much weight is in that car as well. It's like 1595, I think they say, kg for the saloon version of this, all the leather with all the optional extras on that thing. But I've probably got easy another 50 kg of weight in there, so it's not stripped in any way, shape or form, and it's still putting out really, really good result. you get the gist of it. I'm going to test a lot more, but realistically, like I say, considering those things are not great, it ended up doing a 0 to 60 of 3.83 and 380 unverified, but verified 3.83. I'll put it on the screen if I didn't before. Which is unbelievable. These saloon versions of the 8V apparently book is 4.3. I know that, you know, manufacturers lie to the extent they're normally quicker, but I have to say that is amazing. And I would say, again, conditions wise, it weren't perfect earlier on, and now it's just glorious. I probably, if I did it now, it'd probably be a little bit quicker. I would say it'd be easy to get it in the 3.7s. I think with a little bit of work, if you could get the launch right on that manual mode, just to let it ride a bit more in first, that's the key thing for me. You'd be able to get 3.7 easy, and then it bounces in a really awkward position in second at 60-ish, and I think it feels like it's better shifting. So again, there's that, and actually, if you've got anything like this, TTRS or one of these, they're going to have the same box and gearing, and think most of them have. Yeah, let me know your pros, I guess, and tips, because I don't launch this car that much. I'm going to, because I want to go to events, I want to do half mile, all that kind of stuff. Give me some tips in the comments. Definitely, I'm all ears, 100%. It doesn't matter how good a driver you think you are. There's people that are, you know, launching these and going to drag events that will know a lot more than me. So yeah, 383 verified, 100 to 200 used to, the best was 10.55, which I believe this was on Draggy, put in the quickest times for any stock car of a DNWA car in the world, which is really good. So I'm really, really proud of that. I ended up doing a 10.38 and then a 10.16, loads of 10.3s, loads of, I think a 10.18, and then, yeah, ended up getting a 10.13, which stock map, the map is the key thing in these things. Like I say, intake and intercoolers, they will net you some horsepower, but they don't, and they do net you the horsepower and torque in nice areas. But until you up the boost pressure and you use a map and you have an intercooler, you know, alongside that map, you don't get vastly quicker times. But that nonetheless has blown my mind, because 100% I've got a curve, I've got rubbish surface. I know I'm making loads of excuses, aren't I? Get the violin out, but no, genuinely, that done 10.16 really easy. It done a 10.18 I think on the second run, so it's easy, and they're all kind of, like I say, curved runs. I think it would be in the late 9s, and like I say, box fresh, standard map, unreal. Handling wise, anti-roll bar, once the pressures are in those context 7s, actually you don't get that, you don't get too much of that wavy following lines, but just to let you know, on the hard setting you do get that a little bit, which I explained in the video. In a straight line hard launch, if you're depending on what the road's like in the wet especially, and depending on what the traction control is doing, I find that if the traction control's off and the temperature and the pressures are right in these tyres, it does stay relatively straight and true, but it will be a little bit, it will want to rotate a little bit more and follow roads a little bit more on that harder setting. If you want it to be really user friendly, go on the softer setting, but I think overall I've got used to it and I love it on that hard setting. Overall the handling's amazing now because of that and the dog bone mount. Brakes are unbelievable. Actually, just today I feel like I've bedded them even more, and towards the end of the day they're just unbelievable. They feel so much better than OEM. I've been doing some big pulls and needing to do them again and again and again, and I've been out in the car non-stop actually for 2 hours, and it's just not complained. I think that's largely due in terms of heat, in terms of, you know, keeping that not from ballooning and going too far over, is the Eventuri intake and carbon tube. The thing, you know, the thermal properties of a carbon fibre is amazing, and the guys at Eventuri are just legends and geniuses. But yeah, some really good tech spec for you. My feedback on some of the products and parts, I think it's going to be really decent around track now, so I'm really, really pleased with it, and I've had a lovely, fun drive as well. If you've got any questions, like I said, as always, hit us up in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, like, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.